Hello, hello, hello. We're back.
Friends.
Yay.
Surprise!
Surprise, season 5. Welcome back to season 5 of Beyond the Steps, presented by Apollo Performance and Turning Point Dance Creations. I'm Bree Zabrowski, back for season 5 with my fabulous friend and co-host, Mrs. Melissa McDaniel Grisham. For those that are new to Beyond the Steps, this is a weekly video series available on YouTube and Facebook each and every Friday. We are joined by a very special guest and ask one, yes, just one question under the umbrella of health and wellness for performance athletes. And we have meaningful conversations to share perspective and evidence-based research. It's really just meant to be thought-provoking because, hey, when you know better, you do better. We are
Exactly.
kicking off season 5 today, but you can catch up on seasons 1 through 4 on YouTube, Facebook, at Apollo Performance, and at TP Dance Creations. And be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. For those that don't know, Melissa here is a dance educator, choreographer, and social justice advocate. Melissa, friend, welcome back. How was your summer?
It was good. I can't complain at all. Nothing too stressful, nothing too hard. It was real easy breezy, lemon squeezy, and I'm just happy to be back.
I
How
love
about
it.
you? How was yours?
It was good. It was crazy. I feel like I became like an Uber driver, just kids everywhere. We spent some time in the mountains. We moved to Idaho last year. So we really sort of tried to explore our new home and see what summer had to offer. It's beautiful here. So we had a great summer. It went by very, very quickly. So in a lot of ways, probably like so many parents out there, it was bittersweet end to the summer. I was ready for the kids to get back and get into routine, but I kind of wanted to hang on to them a little while longer too. So I know all the parents out there understand that. And for those that don't know, Melissa and I are both parents. I have an 8 and an 11-year-old, and Melissa has Gregory, who's
16-year-old. 16.
16 now. Oh my gosh, who's
16.
amazing. Shout out to Gregory. He's kind of
Yep.
like our right-hand guy over here at Beyond the Steps. So
Yeah.
we love Gregory. What's up, Gregory? But yeah, so what is new? Like, what's happening? Because you're a dance educator, so you deal with performance athletes. You're in it still. I've been removed from it for a few years, but how has the new season been treating you? And what's happening as we sort of head into I know it's a really busy time of year. So what's happening for you with the new season?
This is choreography season. So this is where we're in what we most places traditionally call boot camp, where we're pushing out loads of choreography in very small amounts of time to a number of children. So everybody's head is about to explode. The children, the teachers,
Yeah,
everybody. So I'm actually finishing up my last piece of choreography for the season in the next couple of weeks.
it's
So
the
that
best
is
feeling.
it's exciting. And then of course we go into convention season because there's no off season in dance. And then we go into competition season, and then we go into audition season, and then so there it is.
And it's
So
so relatable because everybody out there, no matter what type of athletic activity you're doing, everybody sort of has the same start and the same end. And it's really always just planning for the next big thing happening in whatever season you're doing, right? Or whatever athletic activity you're doing. So hopefully you all can identify with that as we talk about our experiences on the show and learn about others' experiences and walk away with something valuable. That is why we do this show.
now Apollo's on the road, right? Y'all are showing up in all kinds of places all the time, right?
Girl. Apala, so for those that don't know, I am the co-founder, one of the co-founders and CEO of Apollo Performance Wear, and we make awesome compression socks. So check them out. Shameless plug. If you get a minute, check out the socks. Satisfaction guaranteed. They're amazing. And they're for anyone with feet, really. But yes, we are in an incredible period of just growth, and we're just seeing such an incredible response from the cheer community and the marching arts world and gymnastics, and of course dance, which is where we started. It's kind of the heartbeat of who we are as a company, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. I just very grateful. We're in our 10th year, so
Wow.
it has been 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and it's finally just starting to kind of shape into that vision that we had 10 years ago, which is really, really cool.
That's good. That's
It's been
awesome. I
fun.
want to hop into it because we have some people on viewing. So I want to hop into our preview, our sneak peek of season 5. And I have some things that I want to talk about for sure. But before we talk about what's happening, what's coming, we have done so much on this show. If you have been a viewer with us from the beginning, you know we have just covered goo gobs and goo gobs and goo gobs of things. And what is something that you are looking forward to learning and talking through this year, Brie?
Yeah. So for me, I think just the competitive environment of, just athletics in general. So I've had a front row seat this past year to really, I was a cheerleader, right, in high
Mhm.
school, but I really, Apollo started talking to a larger cheer audience this past year. And then I've gotten to learn about the marching arts world, which was a really new thing for me to learn
Mhm.
and understand. And I've just loved it so much. And all the partnerships that we've had on the Apollo side, I'm walking away with so much new information and respect for what these athletes are doing, whether it's marching artists or cheerleaders or gymnasts. Even like I found a new love for football and soccer. I'm a soccer mom. So I just am really excited to explore the parallels of the competitive environment and how that affects the mindset of the students, the parents, the coaches, and how we can sort of be healthier in that respect. I think there's a lot to dive into on that topic,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
as
Got
we
some
know.
people in the chat dropping questions about what they would like to talk about. Next Step Dance would love to have some studio honors on the show, speaking to parents that are on Facebook, asking one another how much their fees are at studios. like, like, are
I
we supposed to get paid for the hours we put in?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's
it's
a
a
good
great
one.
topic and something that's thank you for that Next Step Dance page. That is a great question because I think there's a lot of perspective to share on both sides of that coin, right? Like from the parent perspective, and I think it would be helpful for the parents to understand the mindset of the studio director and vice versa.
Uh-huh.
So that is a really great suggestion, and I think we can definitely make that happen this season.
Yes, I hope we do. We're able to make that happen because I mean, there's a lot around that. Like, yes, there are fees, but keeping the lights on is like baseline.
Yeah.
There's more
Well,
to running a
yeah.
studio.
It's not, and that's it, with the hours that because the great thing about this show is that Melissa and I have been on both sides of that coin, right? Like
Mhm.
we have been the people who make the rules, we've been the people who set the fees and set the expectations, but we've also been on the parent side as well. And
Mhm.
so I think there's a really great understanding here of that, and we have a lot of partners that can shed light on both sides of that. But yeah, I think there's a ton of hours on the studio side that are never seen or
Right.
recognized that should be acknowledged a little bit, that might help to talk about it so people know, hey, this
Mhm.
is what goes on.
Yeah, you want to be compensated for those. Like, the people don't go to work for free. So
Yeah.
we have to realize that studio owners don't need to do that either. I know that I am looking forward to, in the kind of in the same vein, we are going to have a lot more of the parent perspective
Yeah.
this year because we are doing a series with two dance moms. Which is a awesome podcast that you can find anywhere that you get your podcast or listen to your podcast, and they're going to be coming and speaking from the parent perspective. So I am super excited about the topics that we're going to address with them. One of which very soon is keeping up with the Joneses, whoever the Joneses might be in your studio, whoever the Joneses might be in your studio, keeping up with them, trying to make sure that your child is doing all the same things that they're doing. Same thing in football, soccer, that your kid has all the same gear that all the other kids have, and they're going to all the same camps that the other kids are going to, and they're doing the same clinics that the other kids. But all the Joneses don't work at the same place, and all the Joneses don't have the same salary or paycheck or time or capacity or family structure. So I'm very excited about talking to them about how they deal with it and what they've seen and the pitfalls of that. So
I love that topic too, because even as somebody who I know better, like I actually know better. I have advised parents to do, put it in perspective, get a hold of yourself. I have done that for 25 years of my career. And even now, as a soccer mom, my son plays competitive soccer. I find myself consistently tripping and falling into that
right.
pattern of behavior. I am able to check myself, and my husband is able to check me,
Thank you.
but it is slippery slope into that mentality. And so I am also really excited about it. It's going to be a good show. Um,
Yes.
so if you're just joining, this is Beyond the Steps. We are kicking off season 5 live today. I'm here with my friend and co-host, Melissa McDaniel Grisham. This is the show that we talk about all things and all topics that affect performance athletes, from nutrition, psychology, gender inequities, racism, medicine and science, you name it, we cover it. And it's just Melissa and me today. But next week, we start with our guest panelists, and we have one guest every week, and we kind of dive in and have meaningful conversations on these things. We want to hear from you. So you can watch us seasons 1 through 5 on YouTube and Facebook at Apollo Performance and TP Dance Creations. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment, because we want to hear from you. And don't be shy. Put those topics in the comments. What do you want to hear about this season as we sort of plan ahead and schedule our episodes? We want to hear from you. So thanks for
Yeah.
watching. We're talking about all the things that we're excited about with season 5 this year. And Melissa, we've covered a lot of ground on this show in the last 4 seasons, but quite often we find ourselves on a topic that we could talk about for hours, and we're really limited to, 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if we're lucky. What are some topics you would love to go back and dive deeper into this season?
Money, money, money. You know the whole little TikTok thing. Give me my money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about the idea of the crazy idea of paying artists what they're worth. Like,
Yeah.
who would have thunk? We talked to Susan Purcell about that. I don't remember if it was last season. Now all the seasons are running together, y'all. I don't remember
Yeah.
if it was last season or the
No, I,
season
I think
before.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a fascinating conversation about how to best advocate for yourself in this industry to make sure that as an artist you're getting paid what you are worth for the time, the education, the money investment that you've put into crafting your art, and being able to make a career versus a hobby out of whatever your performance athletics field is, whether it be a traditional sport or a performance based sport or one that combines sport and artistry together. That level of expertise is worth something, it's valuable. And I would love to dive more into like the actual ways, like actual practical ways that you ask for what you're worth, that you demand what you're worth. I'd like to talk about collective ways that the industry can come together to make sure that performance artists are being paid and performance athletes are being paid. We see it happen all the time in like traditional professional sports where people are like, we're not signing our contract unless you pay me X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Where can we get a little bit closer to that in the performance athletics
Well,
realm?
I think it's interesting too, the impact of that conversation, because that is also the conversation that makes so many parents, because I know a lot of people in our audience are parents of younger athletes and younger performance athletes, where it makes them hesitant to support those
Mm-hmm.
athletes in pursuing that path, because they're, as a parent, you want your kid to be stable and supported and be able to take care of themselves and financially independent and all those things. And it is scary when you have a child that wants to pursue that path, and you don't know as much as you should know about it as a parent because you've never
Right.
been in that world. But also, you just hear all these scary stories about how they're not financially compensated and there's not equitable
Mhm.
pay structures and, all of these different spin-off topics under that umbrella.
And
So
they're
I
taken
do,
advantage of, and you
yeah,
have to, lay on the casting couch in order to get your, like, those
sure.
types of things are rampant, and they're not necessarily always true.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah,
want to
that's a
try
great point. That's a great point. I think for me, I really loved the conversation. It was very enlightening for me to hear about we talked to Mindy Jackson last season
Mhm. That
about
was a good one.
the audition for StEPS, the conservatory, and then also the coach Amy Leifer, the coach at Texas
Mhm.
A&M dance team,
Yeah.
about the audition process for those and the tryout process. So I would really love to learn about more about the collegiate audition process or tryout process if you're trying out for a sport in
Mhm.
general, the application process for that, the ins and outs, because I definitely learned a lot of information I did not know previously. It was very
Mhm.
enlightening for me. I think that was a great episode. So I'd love to dive into that more and look at that across, multiple sports and genres and men versus women, things like
Mhm.
that. So,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun one.
It was a very helpful conversation too, especially for young people who are kind of along the same lines. What I was just thinking about,
Yeah,
like, there's rules to this. There's structure to this, and following it and knowing what it is and being aware can help you so much. Absolutely,
absolutely.
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 Season 5. This is 5 years, y'all. We started this in 2020, in the year of the P word that we don't say anymore, pandemic. If you're not sure what P word, we started this in 2020, and we've done so much, and so much has happened. What are you most proud of, Bree?
I just think the consistency and the growth, like, this is not, when we started this
I had no
almost
clue.
5 seasons ago, we had no clue that we would still be doing this 5 seasons later or what it would turn into, if anything, and I think just growth in the production, what we've done with the production, I think we still have more things we want to achieve in that area, but we've come a long way. The topics, the guests that we're able to bring in each and every week, the quality of the guests, the
Mhm,
audience that we have and how that has grown, and it's not the largest audience, but they're very engaged with our show.
mhm,
And so just really proud that people are watching our full episodes and really walking away with value that they can implement in their day-to-day lives. So it's just the persistence that we've had and the growth, I would say.
mhm, mhm. Yep,
It's a little
for sure.
generic, but it's really true.
When we talk about the production, those of you who have been with us since season 1, y'all, let me tell you, if you haven't been here since season 1, we used to have Mission Control Center, and we were on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, and Zoom.
And Zoom.
We were on Instagram, Facebook, and Zoom,
We
and
had
we had
phones
our phones.
everywhere. Yeah.
We had phones, we had computers, we had earbuds so we could get the feedback out. I mean, when I tell you it was a hot mess, but we hot messed it all the way through till we got here today. And it is definitely has been it's been a process, and I'm proud of that too, Bree. Definitely the production. I am very, very proud. You kind of hit on it a little bit. One of mine, the family of guests that we have. I mean, at this point, we've interviewed hundreds
Yeah.
of people. Like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, literally hundreds of people from all different walks of life: doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, teachers, CEOs, executive directors of organizations, dancers on Broadway, dancers on cruise ships, dancers in all types of traveling shows. We've personal trainers, nutritionists, unbelievable authors, historians. I can't even
It's
begin
very
to.
humbling. It is very we've had an incredible, suite of guests over the last 5 seasons, for
It's
sure.
unbelievable. And to the point where like we've built relationships with people and we've gotten to know people to the point where when it's time for us to schedule for the season, people are like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And that is very humbling to
I was
me.
gonna say humbling is the best word for it, but that is a perfect choice of words
I
because
mean,
it is.
who
The
wants to
fact
talk
that
to
we're
us?
I know, the fact that we're booked out through, for this entire season before we even started the show is really, really cool, and I just can't wait for the audience to hear, all the different perspectives we have this season. It's gonna be a good one. Um,
Mhm.
and for those that are just joining, this is Beyond the Steps. This is a show that we talk about all the things that affect performance athletes, from racism to gender inequity, sex abuse prevention, nutrition, psychology, and medicine and science. We're talking about these things applied to all performance athletics. And we deep dive every single week. We have shared perspective and meaningful conversation with our guests. And hopefully you walk away with something that you can, that adds value to your day-to-day life and how you're approaching things in whatever realm of performance athletics you are doing. So join us each and every week. Each and every Friday, we're back here at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. You can catch up on all of our episodes, season 1 through 4 of Beyond the Steps, at YouTube and Facebook at Turning Point Dance Creations and Apollo Performance. And we have a guest, an audience member that joined in, Nora Levin. Thank you for watching. I would love to dive deeper into different dance paths for seniors to take after they graduate. I love
Mhm.
that we did a show sort of what you're asking, Nora, in one of our earlier seasons. I feel like it was season 2 or 3, Melissa. I don't remember because there's so many, but
Right.
I definitely think that we could read that's speaking of topics that we could talk hours about. I feel like that is
Mhm.
one of them. So I love
Mhm.
that idea, Nora, and I think that that might be a great one to bring back as well. We need to be taking notes of these
Right, exactly.
suggestions
Of course, we're sitting
as
here just talking,
yeah, we're
no
just talking,
notes.
but we need to write these down so as we schedule, we can keep them in mind. And please do keep it coming. If you are watching, please comment and like, share, subscribe on your chosen platform while you're at it. We love that you guys are here, and we want to know what you want to hear about from us this season. What do you want us to talk about? Who would you like us to interview? So let's chat. Um, Last question before we go to homework. So, as far as milestones go, what are you most excited to achieve this season? I think, we've seen a lot of milestones, little milestones that we celebrate here on Beyond the Steps, but what's the one for season 5 for you?
I would like to hit 1,000 views during a live.
I love that goal.
I would like to
It's a
hit a
great one.
thousand views during a live. People watch after, like we get a lot of engagement, people coming back to YouTube or Facebook and watching the episodes. And we've hit 1,000 a few times on that. But I want to hit 1,000 during the
Live.
live and like break the internet like Beyonce.
Yeah. Oh, I love okay. 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 I like it. Anytime you put Beyonce in a sentence, I'm all
Right.
in.
I'm there.
Hit
I'm
me
all
with
there.
it. I love that. We've been saying this for 2 seasons now, but I want to turn Beyond the Steps into an official podcast. We have so much great content, so many topics that we've covered. I want to take that and I want to make it an official podcast just because I think that it needs to be available as much as possible for people to hear however they possibly can. And doing a podcast, everybody listens to podcasts. So I want to make it a podcast. That's my goal for season 5.
Yeah. That I concur. I would like to do that too. And I'd like to do it actually after talking about it for 2 seasons and becoming totally swamped in everything that we do, having it be kind of deprioritized. Season 5, that's it. We're doing it. We're on it.
I
We're
love
on
it.
it.
I love it. So everybody out there, go back and watch seasons 1 through 4 of Beyond the Steps. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you comment. We're still live. We want to hear from you. What do you want to hear about this season? Put it in the comments on YouTube or Facebook. Let us know so that we can keep that in mind as we're scheduling. And I think we're going to homework,
We
right?
are. We are.
Homework
Homework
time.
time.
So, if you guys are just joining us and you're new to the Beyond the Steps world, every single week our guests assign homework and we assign homework for our audience. It's got to be one thing they can do between now and next week's show to have meaningful growth in whatever area we're talking about. This week, we're kicking off season 5 with some pretty obvious homework, but we're going to stay consistent. We're going to give it anyway. And there's 2 little assignments that you have. Assignment 1, go back and catch up on seasons 1 through 4 of Beyond the Steps. Listen
Mhm.
to the episodes on YouTube or Facebook at Apollo Performance or at TP Dance Creations. You won't be sorry. There's a lot of fabulous content. Disclaimer, ignore the production value in seasons 1 and 2. We were doing our best, okay? But it doesn't mean it's not great content. So go back and listen. Just ignore the production value and listen to the content. It really is great. And our other homework is to take the STEPS Initiative course. What is the STEPS Initiative course, you ask? I'm going to tell you. It is a free 5-part course series. Every module in this series was created and curated by experts in their field, and it was the catalyst for what is now the show. But you can go at your own pace. It is completely free. It is crazy. We never imagined that it would take off the way that it has, but it is going to give you education and evidence-based research and resources on everything from racism to gender inequity, sex abuse prevention, nutrition, psychology, and medicine and science. We have staffs of people take this. We have leadership take this, parents. We have student athletes that take this course. It is really meant to be a launching pad to give you sort of more information and lay a foundation so that you can go and pursue further education on your own. Again, it's completely free and you go at your own pace. So why not do it? Because when you know better, you do better. We like to say that on this show. So 2 pieces of homework, catch up on seasons 1 through 4, take that STEPS Initiative course. Melissa, pop that link at the bottom of your screen here. Make sure you click that link, and that is where you can find the course. It also lives at apolloperformance.com if you want to go there and search in the search bar, type STEPS Initiative course, and it'll pop up for you. So we encourage you to take a look at that.
Yes. 2 pieces of homework. You got a twofer. And you know what? Don't only ignore the the production in season 1. Ignore my hair and nails because it was a pandemic and there were no hair salons and nail salons open.
That is terrible. Nobody is looking at your hair and nails.
I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. I just wanted to put it, just saying. But thank you so much, Bree, for doing this for 5 years. I'm so just blessed and happy that the clandestine meeting of us online 5 years ago has turned into this.
It's amazing. We had our own meet cute.
Yes. Yes. So
now you can't get rid of me.
And you cannot get rid of me, even though you moved all the way to Idaho. You cannot get rid of me.
All over the place. Yeah, all over the place.
Thank you to everyone who has followed this show, watched this show, commented, been on the show, anything in the last 5 years. Thank you to everybody who's still going to do it for the remainder of season 5. We are so honored to have you as part of the Beyond the Steps family. Next week, we have our first official show. We don't consider ourselves like the official show. We have our first official show.
We're just the opening act.
Right. We're just the opening act, just the openers. You know, we're still letting everybody get still into their seats right now. But next week, we start our first official show with 2 dance moms, Casey and Amira from the 2 Dance Moms podcast. And we're going to talk about how to navigate the pressure of keeping up with other families on your competitive teams. That's that keeping up with the Joneses. And if you can tell us who in the world the Joneses are, please, by all means, drop
I know a Jones. I don't think it's this Jones, but I know a Jones.
I know a few Joneses, and I don't think they're these Joneses either. But wherever that saying came from, we're going to talk about how to navigate keeping up with the Joneses. Until then, please, like Bree said, like, share, comment, go back, catch up on all of these episodes on YouTube and at Facebook at Apollo Performance and at TP Dance Creations. Join us next Friday, 3:30 Eastern, at Apollo Performance and at TP Dance Creations on YouTube and Facebook for that show. And until then, we hope that you continue your journey beyond the steps. See you next week.